The record company will be at the 930 Club tonight. The fourth album is out and available now. Please welcome the record company.
Hello. Thank you for having us.
How are we doing, boys?
Very good, very good.
By the way, I should be thanking you for coming in. A little early, isn't it, on tour?
Oh, we were only on stage, 7 hours ago? It's all good, man.
I was going to ask you, though, how do we sign up for the $100 giveaway?
Yeah, really.
We could use that.
Bands
right
could
now.
use that these days.
Call from the bus.
All right.
Yeah, just call from the bus
Right.
whenever you get a chance. As long as the bus isn't parked on the left side of the loading dock, you can do whatever you want.
Oh, we're right side.
Oh, excellent.
All
Beautiful.
right.
There you go, Mark.
Fine,
No, but how was last night was New York.
Yeah.
Right.
It was awesome. Bowery sold out at the Bowery. We were in Philly and Boston the 2 nights before that. Both those were capacity, so we're pretty stoked. It's been a lot of energy, a lot of fun.
Yeah. No, and so before we get back to, because I do have some tour stuff I want to get into, let me go backwards. Dude, the record is so good.
Thank you.
The record is so freaking good.
Appreciate you, Elliot. You've been a supporter of ours for a good long while, so we appreciate that.
If I'm being totally honest, I thought they won't remember us at all.
Really?
Yeah.
No,
we were
not-
actually commenting on
Not
that.
true, because I think we've told the story before, but it's been a minute. The first time we ever ventured out of Los Angeles to do a show on our own, it was the Rock and Roll Hotel in
Right.
DC. And we rolled in, remember, and it was like, no one's going to come to this.
No, we didn't
one knows
think anybody
who we
would be
are. And they're like, guys, you have 112 pre-sales. And we're like, that was the biggest number we've ever heard at the time.
At
So
that
we're like,
time.
oh my God, we've made it. This is it. It's incredible. So that was DC.
So
And
wait a minute. That was the first time you guys left L.A. to play a show? Was that the Rock and Roll Hotel?
It was like a little run of dates, but I think DC was like the first one
When
of
we
those.
headlined, yeah.
They were
We
like headlining
that
shows,
far
not
away from home, yeah.
Wow, boy, there was really nobody around. There was nobody like within 2,000 miles that liked you. You're like, you know what? Let's go all three. Let's go the entire way over
No
there.
one cared.
The other thing I'll say about the record, I mean, it is fantastic, is the critically, and you may not care about this part of it, critically is being heralded, but it also feels like from a fan standpoint, it's loved, but almost loved with a little bit of like, so F you all, this thing is great. And again, that may be something you care about, you don't care about, but for me, I love seeing it.
No, it was good to go back to our own terms on this one, and just do our thing and have it work. That's been great.
Make it in his house.
So everything was done in your living room?
Yeah, it was. We pretty much just asked ourselves this time around, like, what is it that got us excited when we first started? And part of that excitement was just sitting in a room playing music and not thinking about everybody weighing in with what they want us to do, what they want us to sound like, all that. So we really took it back to our very basic roots.
Right.
And I think that's one of the reasons people are responding to it, because it's got that kind of OG sound that we came up with in the earliest days.
Well, so I was just saying, if you take this one, like obviously making it, they all weren't done in Alex's living room, but can you hear the difference in it?
Yes, because there's just I have really cheap equipment, so you're not going to get this glossy thing. So that's kind of that's
when I said the record sounded good, I didn't mean like quality.
Yeah. In spite of itself,
we like to hear like little quirks and mistakes, just like kind of the records that inspired us growing up. It's like the more perfect it is, I don't know. There's something that it loses a character.
Right. Now, Mark, let me ask you this. I was reading, so the like we said, the record's done in Alex. Do you produce records?
I produce these records.
Oh, okay.
I don't really put the phone out and look for projects that often to do other types of records. I really spend my time on this.
And so, but Mark, I thought I read something where like the drums on the record are an old drum set that you used that hadn't been used for like 12 years?
It's the one Alex found at a garage sale for, what was the asking price, $100?
Yeah, I think it.
Or have we
He
just
might have
made
gotten
that
me up to 150.
Does that become urban
It was-
legend that it was $100? But no, it's just a piece of crap. We don't know. It has no brand. When we got it, there's a piece of masking tape that said, "Belonged to Stevie Ray Vaughan's drummer." All right, well, that's got to be legit. But
then I got $100.
Yeah, but then fast forward, we were playing a festival a number of years ago now, but they did an airport pickup for us, and that Stevie Ray Vaughan's drummer gets in the van with us. He was playing, and we're like, dude, are these your drums? And we're like scrambling to find a picture, and I think we showed him and
dug out a picture, and he's like, I have no idea. I've never seen this in my life.
So it's still, we don't know. It's still TBD. But actually, we recorded. How we kind of do it is like we do everything at the house on that old drum kit, and it's squeaky and and then for the drums, actually, we did go in and cut some tracks at Sunset Sound, which is the famous old LA studio.
Sure.
And, I mean, everybody in the world has been in that room, and that's kind of fun. It's with our buddy Clay Blair, who's an excellent engineer, loves the analog stuff, And so we did the drums that way.
Right.
But actually, like on the song like Talk to Me, which was the first song out, we kept the ones, or we actually only had the ones from the house.
Because I thought I had read something, and this may be really like music nerdy, and I don't know anything about instruments or anything.
We don't really either. That's the whole thing. Yeah.
No, but I thought it said something like that. The drum heads hadn't been changed in like 12 years or something.
Haven't.
That's not? There's no way that's normal. Don't you break drum heads every night?
I don't break them. No, I'm getting old, man. Like my energy has to be elsewhere, but I've never been like a big heavy hitter.
Right.
So like when we started, we were playing smaller rooms. I think the most unpleasant thing you can hear is a drummer anywhere. I think, just in general. So when you're...
Wait, I'm sorry. The most unpleasant thing that you can hear if you go like to see a band is the drummer.
If they play too loud. Like if they don't understand the room.
Okay, I gotcha.
We were playing like tiny bars and everything. And it's just kind of like, sit in the back. No one cares. Like you're like an O lineman. No one knows unless you did a holding call on like the fourth down or something. So we just learned to play rooms, and I think but yeah, I've seen old jazz drummers that haven't changed heads forever, but
I don't know how to change heads. The drums are at my house. I just don't know how to do that.
Call Stevie Ray Vaughan's drummer.
Yeah, if a head breaks, it's the end of the band.
I'll say this: there's no mistake. These were not possibly Neil Peart's. It's a different thing. It's 4 pieces of wooden junk. That's what we have.
Now, Chris, let me ask you this: this record is this one a little more special for you?
They're all yes. It is. I mean, it kind of came out of the din of everything that we all experienced, and to get back out there and make another record and do it and have it be received and be moving tickets, and it's just it does have a special spot in your heart when a record moves your life into a new direction. You move yourself, then the record gets written, and then it's up to the people.
Right.
And that's a special thing when that happens, because we've all been in bands for years where that hasn't happened, so it is a cool thing to have. It is special because it's us. It's our fingerprints are all over it. There's not any outside situation on this record, which is a good feeling. It's like, I've said it before, it's like if you're a carpenter and you work on somebody else's house all day, but then you go home and you work on your own, you can take everything you've learned and put it in your own place, and nobody can tell you how to do it, and that really is a cool thing. And where I come from, growing up on a dairy farm and all that stuff back in the day, being an individual came with the territory, and like just being yourself, that was just the way I was taught to be. And it's nice when you don't have to feel like you got to fold yourself into somebody else's identity, because that's not something we're very good at doing.
Can I ask you this though? And if you don't want to get into it, we don't have to.
Oh yeah, I'll get into anything.
I would imagine there are some people that know the story, and that there are some people that would go like, oh, thank God the record company put out a record. I feel like it's been a little bit, like they were a little past due, but like, because you would look at it and go, everything's going along great. Like you guys are all over the road. You're nominated for Grammys. It's number one song after number one song after number one song. Yeah. And then obviously the pandemic hits. Everybody knows that. Mm-hmm. But then it seems like out of nowhere, right before Christmas, a couple of years ago, this goes back to what, 2022?
2022.
There's a phone call that's like, and by the way, just got off the road with like John Mayer and Seeger, and then doing your own headlining shows.
Yes.
Like, you would think this is going great. Don't mess with it. Who calls and's like, we're done?
Well, I assume you were talking about when we got dropped.
Yes.
By our label. That was disappointing. We didn't. I've said it before, and I'll say it gladly on the airwaves. You know, I don't agree with the decision. I respect that they had an honest reaction. Those of you out there who run your own business or have been part of a transitioning in a business, a new person comes in, has new opinions. Our old champion left and came in, and the funniest part about it, the thing that we probably would have taken it a little more in stride, but after 3 successful records, I never even talked to the guy. You know what I'm saying?
The new guy who came in.
Never
even,
a
phone call, nothing.
Nope. Never even got to sit and talk to him after 3 successful records, and that hurt.
Right.
I'm not going to lie to you. So it was a moment where you look at your other 2 guys who put their lives behind this band, and it's just a shock. We were completely shocked. And we just, I won't say what I said on the air, but it was a non-kindergarten version of, oh, shucks.
But
and we just said, to hell with it. We're going to move on. We're going to do it our way. We're going to write our songs. Alex had some really killer song ideas, and we rallied around those early ideas.
But wasn't there like a whole tour and everything that was booked and ready? Well, I mean, I guess the pandemic took care of that.
There was a whole bunch of stuff. We had tours canceled.
We can speak honest about too. It's like, and it wasn't just us. It was
everybody. Yeah, sure. Everything was shut down.
You know, it's
a lot of good bands out of business.
It's your reputation on the line, and if you book a tour and you're half sold, a quarter sold, everybody's losing money. There's a Bill Burr joke about that.
Yeah, right.
When you're playing in an arena and there's 1,000 people there, someone's losing their.
Absolutely.
We didn't want to do that, and it was disappointing for fans for sure. But we just kind of said, hey, stick with us as we, like everybody else, not just in a band but in life, is trying to figure out the new paradigm of existing on Earth, and it was really tricky. And and then you can't. Then when things started to open up again, you had every band on Earth trying to make up for that, and Live Nation and AEG and all the promoters making up for 2 years of lost
of everything
shows,
being shut down. Sure,
and just cramming. Like, we could not find venues.
Right.
We're in New York City. We played the Bowery Ballroom last night, which was awesome, but like you couldn't get in Irving Plaza. You couldn't get the places.
Of course not.
Like, there's 12, 13 people holding these venues. We're lucky enough to have the 9:30 tonight,
right?
And it's an early show at that. Where we go on at 7:20 p.m.
Yeah, and doors are at 6.
Yeah, so everybody's like clawing and in a cordial way,
right? But it still hasn't caught up to everything that was gone. At any point, though, did you guys go? Are we still doing this?
No,
never.
Not me. Yeah. Never. No.
We didn't tell you about our call we had.
No. All right, so I'll put Chris in this column.
You do ask yourself honestly, like you finish a tour and you see that you lost money, right? And you do start to ask yourselves, like, can we continue to do this? It's not, do I want to do? Of course we want.
Of course
to
you want to,
doing
sure.
music, but
that
was the reality. So combination with the touring stuff and some of those realities, getting dropped by the label. You do have those questions where you're like, I want to be able to still make music. And, I think, and you've said it before, but all of this stuff we just put it into the new record, and it made the record more honest, made it more raw, made it better. So that's kind of the light at the end of the tunnel, is that, all of this stuff we used to just,
but Alex, were you at the point
happen.
where you like, well, I could go do this? Like, did it get that far down the road?
I don't think I have a lot of other options.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll say this: we all registered our OnlyFans feet page. No one signed up. So I guess we'll just keep the band going.
Jeez, I hope that doesn't exist.
Oh, this is live.
The other thing, Chris, that I thought was interesting that you said is like when everybody knows you when everything's going great. Yeah. But the second there's a turn, it's like nobody knows who you are. Yeah. Like everything gets a little quiet.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's one of my favorite songs is Nobody Knows You When You're Down and Out. You know, but, you know, if you're in the game for that, you ain't going to last long because there's a lot of ebbs and flows. And if there's one thing that I have learned about the music business and being an artist, the music business is, to sum it up as fast as I think I could, as far as what it feels like and what it is to succeed, it's putting everything you have at the center of the table. It's pushing every chip.
Right.
And you got to be able to do that. You've got to be able to go, there's a big cliff over the edge of this mountain I can't see over, and we've got to go 100 miles an hour over it, praying that we hit a bridge that we're pretty sure is there, but we can't be certain. That's what being in a band is like. And if you don't have the love for the music, that can really tear you apart in your soul and your heart. But it isn't fun when the phone stops ringing and nobody calls anyway, or I guess people stop texting, I guess. But it isn't fun when that happens, but that's when you find out what you're made of.
Right.
You know, it's like I say, I coming from where I come from, farming guy, we just work till we die. That's the way we do it. And that's my plan here, is to do this as long as I can.
Well, I was going to say, I read something where you were talking about how being in a band is, it's not a job, it's a way of life. It's
a way of life.
And you equate it back to being a kid on a dairy farm or whatever kind of farm it was in Wisconsin, where it was like, that's not my family's job.
It's not.
That is our way of life. Like you said, you're doing it till you die.
Yeah.
And
you better love it.
And equating those two, that was really interesting to me because I wouldn't have thought of it that way.
Yeah, no, it is the same, and it's a good preparation for this. You know, me and my brothers were very close because we had no choice. You know, there was nobody else to hang out with. We were in the middle of nowhere, really, literally.
Did you have a graduating class of 4?
I had 4 kids in my grade school class. And now
Elliot just knows everything.
Alex said this, and I want to give this compliment on the airwaves to the Elliot in the Morning listeners. Let me tell you, you said, I think you said, well, I'm glad you guys remember or whatever. Let me tell you something, Elliot. Most people, it's like there's no research in the questions. You're like asking me stuff. I'm like, hey, this guy knows something about this group. This is amazing. I mean, like that's you have a person on the air here, listeners, that cares, and that means something to a band. So we appreciate you, Elliot.
Well, I'll tell you what I don't know.
What don't you know? What do you need to know?
Who was the kid who gave you the Metallica DVD?
Sean.
Okay, there it is.
Yeah, he wore the Metallica shirt to the Catholic grade
But he was
school.
one of the 4 kids in your school?
He was the one that threw the balance out. By the time I got to 8th grade, we had 7. You know?
Oh.
So, but he was one of the kids.
Don't you hate when city moves in?
Yeah, man.
Country went city.
Really. He upset the balance of things, and probably why I'm sitting here today.
But yeah, no, I was reading. So this kid shows up and gives you like a VHS or something of like Seek and Destroy.
Yeah,
and that was it. That changed everything.
It's a Metallica Cliff 'Em All video. He came, he loaned it to me. He was like, "Watch this," and I remember watching it, and just the version of Seek and Destroy happened, and Cliff Burton's hair whipping around like a maniac, and I was like, yeah, this is great.
Next thing you know, all 7 kids are smoking cigarettes.
Yes.
Like, what happened? It's such a good thing going.
God damn you, Eric. But I was looking on your Instagram there. I guess you put up a picture, I can't tell you how long ago it was, where you were like a little boy, maybe in 4th or 5th grade, like sitting up on the tractor.
Driving it.
Yeah, like that's legit.
It's legit. I was literally, yeah, no, it's not a... It's funny because it's become kind of fashionable now, especially in some musical circles, to be from that But my whole life, it was like, I remember when I went to the public school, they were like, I got crap for that. They're like, farm boy, but it's like, I'm proud of it, man. I really am. Came from the salt of the earth, and it worked into this music. You know, I mean, when I went to LA, I stuck out like a sore thumb, and these guys were, they saw that there was something to that had value.
Right.
And that's why we're here.
But when you ended up leaving this little, I don't even know you can't call it a town. I don't know what you call it, this room.
Yeah.
And then, but there was like one mediocre stop in the middle for school.
Yeah.
And then you strolled into LA.
I did. I mean, I was the first of my family to go to college.
Right.
And so I ended up in Milwaukee, and that's where I got into the bands, and then I moved to LA.
When you got to Milwaukee, did you walk around like, oh my God, this is Times Square?
Yeah. Yes, I did. My freshman year, I remember getting dropped off at the dormitory at UW Milwaukee, which is like right in the middle of town, and just being like, walking around being like, whoa, a lot to take in. But, I'm a versatile man. I can think on my feet. I was exhilarated because I always wanted to be in the city my whole life. So it was pretty cool. But anytime anybody, even back then, would find out where I was from, it was odd in Wisconsin. So you can imagine what it's like anywhere else.
So kind of let's get back together. So we get together, we start working on the record, and then I don't know how like that whole part of it works, but now all of a sudden we get re-signed. All of a sudden there's a big tour that comes around. All of a sudden the music's doing really well again. All of a sudden we're right up there on charts, right next to Foo Fighters and Lana Del Rey and everybody else under the sun. I don't know if it was good what happened, but it certainly seems like it turns out okay.
Yeah, it was good. I don't regret a damn moment of it. I really don't, because it sharpens the blade, man. It just makes you stronger. It makes you better. We're playing better than we ever have. I mean, one thing I'm proud of the three of us is when we were locked away, we didn't just sit there and do nothing. Apparently, we must have all been playing our instruments. Because we got back together and we were better than we were before, and that was exciting.
I remember. To that question, we did a tour with the band The Rival Sons last year, and we also had toured Europe with them like right before the pandemic and everything, and I got to know the drummer a little bit, and we shared our golf nerdery. That's both a new thing for us that we picked up but he said something pretty interesting on that tour where it started, and it was like some cities where like the numbers were low at first, and we were both kind of like, oh, and he's like, you ever just wonder, like, do they just don't like us anymore? And like, it's a legit question, but then you get into cities and all of a sudden it's sold out and you're like, oh, okay, phew. But that happens, man. You're just like, are we one of those bands that you're like, what happened to those guys?
I don't know. Nobody liked them anymore.
Remember when they were cool or something? And so finding Roundhill was the new label that came in, and they're awesome. It reminds us a lot of like the early days of Concord,
right?
Where they're very hands off, super supportive. Like, what do you guys need, or what do you want?
Right.
They're not all up in the songs and everything.
Go do what we liked when we found you the first time.
Pretty much.
Yeah, just go do that.
Yeah, and it's cool to like, and you want to have a sounding board, because if you get too insular, it's like, no, that's not the only way to do it.
Right.
We know the right way, but they were just like hands off and put the record out, and we did all the artwork ourselves, all the stuff, and just basically said, here you go, like it, don't, and they're like, yeah,
here we go,
great,
and then it goes.
It's very rare to nowadays, I think. I mean, but that's across every industry.
Sure,
you have these heart and soul TV production companies that started with a thing and they get bought and sold, or
you're sitting in an iHeart building. I know exactly what you're talking about.
That's
it's about as evil as it gets.
But so everyone's experience that works in this kind of crazy world has experienced to some degree, like, remember, like we were saying with Concord, it's no disparagement towards what they're doing,
right?
But I don't
Still got
think
a lot of friends over there.
Yeah, we still have friends there, but I don't think this band gets signed in 2016 to a label that's buying catalogs for hundreds of millions of dollars.
Sure.
They've just shifted thing, which is fine.
Right.
Do
No,
that.
I get that.
And,
That makes
and they
sense.
gave us a wonderful career. So there's no nothing. It's just great. And
No, good. No, that's
on to
how it
the
should
next.
be.
Yeah.
Chris, one more thing, and then I want to start getting into some music.
Yeah.
I read something where you were talking about teaching music in some way, or you were doing something teaching music, and I thought this was pretty cool because I've never heard of anybody doing this. But you talked about somebody came in with like a Green Day record or a Green Day CD or whatever it was, and you were like, okay, no, start diving deep and keep going down the road of stepping stones of if you like this. Keep going, keep following the roots. That was fascinating me because it never crossed my mind.
When there would be those special students who really wanted to know. I was a guitar teacher for a minute to supplement some income for my touring addiction, and
supplement.
Yeah, it's early, bro.
only income.
Yeah. Is it supplement? What's the correct word? What's the correct verbiage?
I'm just implying you made no money. That's your only source of income.
Mark, I want to tell you, fair. That's fair. Now to route back to the education, Mark, if I might be so. This is what happens when you let a drummer into something.
Right. Oh, he's all into golf now.
I've got one term for his clubs: duct tape. Okay. But anyhow, follow the route was, and I think it's good for listeners too. So with Green Day, I remember with this kid, he just loved Green Day, and he was very good. He could pick it up very quickly. And he's like, I want to do this. I want to write songs. And he's starting to write his own songs. And I was like, have you heard of the Ramones? Have you heard? And then it's like, oh yeah. And then we'd listen to the Ramones, learn a Ramones song. Then we learn a Buddy Holly song or a Kinks song. And we go back. Before you know it, you got this. You have to have an ad that, in that point, certain students are hungrier for that than others. But if you see it in them, I always would encourage them. I'd say, if you like a band or an artist, find out who they listen to, then find out where that came from. And I'm like, by the time you get down, if you can trace that all the way down to Alan Lomax in the field recordings in the 1920s, you hit the end of the road, go back to the top and start again. And that is a great way to build a knowledge of why things work, how things work. It doesn't just appear out of nowhere. All art is influenced by something earlier. And I thought it was really important that kids had a respect for the history of it, but also, like I would tell them, I'm like, look, man, you're going to be listening to this stuff. You're going to go to school someday, when you're older, and you're going to know all these records that all these people are going to be like, hey, man, have you ever heard of? It's like, yeah, I was listening to that when I was 14.
Right.
So I think it's just instead of just taking what's given to you, dig a little bit and see what's underneath it. And you might find every single layer under that has just so many bands, so much art. I think it's a good way and that's something that I think a lot of musicians naturally do, but it's cool to tip a kid off to it.
How far back do you guys go? Like if I was going to dig through your roots, how far, like we're like, if somebody says, here's the fourth album by the record company, if I started digging, where do I end up?
With me, you're going to end up at like people singing on a chain gang. Like, I mean, I listen to that stuff, almost ridiculously often. I mean, most of the recordings I listen to are 50s, 60s, and 70s, just because I find it very authentic, and I want to see why and what inspired that. But I'm the only one, I think, in the group that really listens that way. So these guys are a little more. Alex is
probably go back to Elvis. My dad was always playing Elvis and James Brown.
Yeah. Oh, really?
He called the long hair Beatles the hippie Beatles. He liked the early Beatles, But yeah, discovered Led Zeppelin, Eric Clapton, Jimi Hendrix, kind of around 7th grade, and that's when I got the real bug for just going at it every day with the guitar and the bass.
If I remember, your your dad was not a fan of Marrakesh Express.
No, yeah, that wasn't his vibe. He was an Elvis and James Brown guy.
But to what Chris said too, I mean, we still do that. Like, I remember Alex, this is years ago, said, "Hey, I was reading this thing with Tom York, and he said he loves this band Can, German prog rock band.
Yep.
We'd never heard of them,
Right.
and we got obsessed. I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. This is like 20-minute songs, and you can hear like every thing that you love about Radiohead, but like 40 years before. And
Yep.
so we still do it.
That's pretty cool.
Chris sends me stuff all the time.
Yeah.
Like, who is it? JB Hutto.
JB Hutto.
Yeah, like this is
Yeah,
a new
he's
discovery for me.
yeah.
It's like, dude, you got to listen to this. And
Yeah,
it's just
old,
like,
this Chicago guy who didn't get any due.
yeah. And
That's
just-
awesome,
just
though.
cool stuff like that.
No, that's very cool. That's very cool.
I'm
All right.
glad you dig it.
Let me do this. Let me take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll start playing. The 4th album is out now. Show at the 930 Club tonight. The record company is with us. Quick break. It's Elliot in the Morning.
Something wrong with me, baby. I got a bad disease. I try to get some elevation, but I can't get up off my knees. There's something wrong with my cocktail. It's all on the floor. There's a bad light shining on me. There's something wrong with me, honey. I don't understand. Every time I grab a doorknob, it comes out in my hand. What the hell? What the hell did I do to me? There's a bad light shining on me. There's something wrong with my money. It just flies away. There's not a thing in my pockets now, and I got paid yesterday. There's something wrong with your love, baby. I can't have enough. There's a bad light shining on me. There's a bad light shining on me.
It's Elliot in the Morning. The record company is with us. The 4th album is out and available now. Tonight, 930 Club. I think there are some tickets still left, but the show tonight at the 930 Club. All right, what are we playing? What are we playing?
We're going to do a version of Talk to Me, which is a song off of this most recent effort that hit the top of the charts, actually. So I'm pretty stoked about that. And
How nice is that?
It's nice.
How nice is that?
It's pretty nice. Thanks to places like this. So thank you, Elliot. Do you want us to groove this thing out?
You do whatever you want.
Do whatever we want?
Yes, with whatever you want. Yeah, what the hell?
What the hell?
Whatever
No,
you
there are
want to
no
do.
cameras here. Oh, wait, there
No,
is.
they're
Oh,
not.
yes,
Oh,
there are.
those are, just so you know, those are not on.
Yeah, sure.
No, I swear to God. I swear to God, those are not on.
No profanity.
No profanity.
No, you shouldn't. You shouldn't do that.
We'll do the...
There we go.
all right.
I spend most of my days alone. Even when I'm with you, is there a light gonna turn on? You can see what I've been through. I've tried so hard to feel so good. I know I'm alive. Can't stop, but I know I should. Can we try one more time? Yeah, why don't you talk to me? Just speak to me. no more. Just one more time before bed. I tried so hard to feel so good. I know I'm alive. Can't stop, but I know I should. Can we try one more time? Baby, don't you talk to me. Don't you speak to me. I love it when you look at me. Alright, secret only I can see. Why don't you talk to me? Talk to me. Done some good things, never enough. Feel my life going back. 3 weeks and 1 day, I know. Looking at you, can we try one more time? Why don't you talk to me? Why don't you speak to me? Love it when you look at me round. Secret only I can see. Why don't you talk to me? Yeah. Talk to me. Talk to me, baby. Talk to me. Take it 1 second. Come on, baby. Talk to me. Talk to me, baby. Yeah. Why don't you talk to me? Please now, I need you to talk to me.
The record company is with us tonight at the 9:30 Club. And then we'll leave D.C. We got Cleveland, Chicago, Milwaukee. Then we go all the way out west and run around. How long is this thing? How long does this thing run for?
It's going to be getting more added to it all the time. Now we're back out. They're going to have to force us to stop.
I also saw, and I like some of these, a couple of the festivals that you guys are doing.
Yeah,
like I know Bottle Rock. Bottle Rock always looks awesome.
it's awesome.
So we're veterans of Bottle Rock.
We've been there a couple times. Yeah.
Is it as cool as I want it to be?
Yes.
And
It
it's
is.
all like, I mean, obviously it's California, Northern California, Napa Valley. But it's like that thing has gotten like legit.
Yeah, like we're playing. Pearl Jam's playing the same day we are, and like it's pretty big.
They tie in all like the local wineries,
Like wineries.
food and all that.
Yeah,
kind
no,
of
like
stuff.
that's what I mean. Like it is like I don't know if fancy is the right word.
It's the right amount of everything, if that makes sense. But last time we played, I'll never forget this. We were on the same stage as Snoop.
Right.
And they were constructing backstage for Snoop's set. They wanted to do the world's largest gin and juice
Right.
on stage. So there was a guy back there building this 100 billion foot gin and juice glass.
That's a good job.
Yeah. So sometimes festivals are fun because we'll play and we're like, we crushed it. That was great. And then you're like, well, that's just going to win. We can't compete with a 38-foot gin and juice.
No way to top
But,
that.
But aren't they, because I know the other one that you guys are doing is Bourbon and Beyond.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that we sent a winner to that last
great.
year? Oh,
that's
dude, they
killer.
said it was awesome.
It's an amazing festival.
Yeah, so you're veterans of that one also.
Yeah, we did that one another year. That was actually the year where Taylor Hawkins from Foo Fighters ended up grabbing one of our shirts, and then he War, God rest his soul, great guy. He ended up wearing the record company shirt on this big BBC drum master class that's got like millions and millions of views, and he's the whole 2.5 hours he's in the record company shirt, which for a band of art where we were at, it was pretty mind-blowing.
Oh, absolutely. That's pretty cool. That's very cool.
And a quick other funny anecdote about that festival. So when you do these, those like Star Wagon trailers, everybody gets their own little trailer backstage, and that's your world for the day.
We get more of a doghouse.
And we get like, and it's fun though because you're at that Bourbon and Beyond. Like the year we were there, it was John Fogerty and Foo Fighters and Flaming Lips and everything, and you just never know where you're going to get placed, and you're kind of looking around. And we were near the Flaming Lips one, and I'm not kidding you, there was a dude out back of theirs just inflating stuff all day, like robots and giraffes, and like he chain smoked like 9 packs of Kent 3s, but like he was so serious about it, and I just watched in awe. And like you've seen a Flaming Lips show,
yeah,
it's
sure,
insane. But then I waited for like the big hamster ball that Wayne comes out in, and I saw it. I saw him like pushing it out. I was like, this is why you play a festival. It's great playing for all those people, but I got to see the behind the scenes hamster ball.
By the way, Tyler just found the picture. The hold on, it'll pop up here in a second. Of Hawkins wearing the
record company shirt.
Yeah, wearing the record company shirt. Is that going to pop up? Hold on, here it comes. Here it comes. That's pretty badass, though.
It's cool. And my friends actually went to their Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction.
Yeah, there he is.
Yeah. And so I had a friend go to the Cleveland, like the induction of the Foo Fighters.
Right.
And they had a clip of him in their like highlight package, whatever they do. That from this thing. And they took a picture from the like ceremony, and they're like, "Oh my God, he's wearing your shirt."
That's awesome.
Like, yeah, so cool. And
that all was because of Bourbon and Beyond.
Right.
He saw us at Bourbon and Beyond, and that was it.
But that's what I was going to ask you guys about the festival. And I know you guys are doing Floyd Fest, which is obviously like the southern part of Virginia. The are you guys like good festival people, or you keep to yourself festival people? Or are festival?
Good, man?
No, like, are you guys like I've never been backstage at a festival.
What? Like, a man of your stature has never.
Where am I? What festival am I standing backstage at, just hanging around? No,
you should follow us to one.
Come with us.
Well,
I want to do. If I can pick. Oh, I want to do Bottle Rock.
Come on out.
Wait, which one is Maren Morris playing? Bottle Rock. Yeah. All right. Now we're going.
Now we're getting somewhere.
Put it this way: we did Bonnaroo one year where Pearl Jam was the headliner, and it's not as glamorous.
Well, you guys in Pearl Jam are like all so friendly, very friendly.
It's not as glamorous as you think, because there ended up being some lightning warnings after we played, and instead of rocking out backstage with Pearl Jam, we ended up, I think, at a Red Baron's about 20 miles away off the highway.
Escape.
Yeah. And drinking a Bud Light from the tap.
No, I remember it was last call, and she's like, "You have like 20 minutes." We're like, "We'll take
everything,
20 beers, right? And we'll drink them all in 20." Yeah. So that was our our big Bonnaroo experience.
Great. So that'll be me. So Maren's playing Bourbon and Beyond. That actually works out better for me. Yeah. All right.
Closer.
Very good.
Yeah.
I don't know. You know what'll happen? I'll show up. We'll have a great time. You guys will finish, and right before they're gonna. Lightning will come, and instead of anything, and I'll be drinking Bud Lights out of a tap. Yeah, exactly. All right, give me one more song, and then I'll get you guys out of here.
You got it.
All right. This one's one of the first tunes that put us on the radio. Here we go. You know what? Let me get the mic down here. My bad. There you go.
Get myself off the side of the road. Get myself up off the side of the road. Things are looking clear than they ever been. Don't know how it'll end, but where to begin? I gotta get myself up off the side of the road. Realign myself a myself and let the truth be told. I woke up burned out by the sun, tired of laying still, so I'm moving along, put a line to myself and let the truth be told. Myself down a brand new home. Hunt myself down a brand new home. Well, I got the answer to my biggest question. Had to lose where I was in my direction. Hunt myself down a brand new home. And the tears that I'm hiding ain't for crying. The tears that I'm hiding ain't for crying. Never gonna let them start spilling out. Pour down my body, then they flood the ground. The tears that I hide ain't for crying. Oh. Ooh. Hey, hey, I gotta pick myself up off the ground. Myself up off the ground, look out. Oh, let the truth be told, baby, let the truth be told. Oh, let the truth be told, oh, baby, let the truth be told. Mama, let the truth be told. Good God, baby, let the truth be told already. Side of the road, oh no, I'm crying to myself, and let the truth be told. When my head is heavy and my heart is empty, spirit is strong, but my legs are ready. Get myself up off the side of the road. Quit lying to myself and let the truth be told. One more time, yo.
I got to learn how to play that thing before Bourbon and Beyond. Is that hard to play?
Nah, it's all good.
It's all good. It's all good. You guys are the best. Chris, Alex, Mark, thank you guys so much for coming in.
Thank you.
The record company, the fourth album is out now tonight at the 9:30 Club. Again, I know it's a pain in the ass to do a show last night and then get up and come in this morning, so I appreciate it.
Oh, man, you guys are the greatest.
And if we'd like to just do a quick reminder, it is an earlier show tonight.
Right.
Doors at 6.
Doors at 6. We go on at 7:20.
7:20-ish, 7:20.
Yeah. All right. Very good. Very good. Awesome. Again, boys, thank you very much. Appreciate it.